Alright guys, going back at it again with the Marvel Review Countdown. This is day 16. Now, I'm talking about Spider-Man Homecoming today, and I have to say something first. I grew up with the original trilogy, and I see that as Tobey as my Spider-Man. And Tom Holland, after finishing this movie, I can safely say that Tom Holland is a solid second for me. And that isn't to say that Andrew Garfield was terrible. It's just that I think I appreciate Tom Holland's Spider-Man much better. Now I have to say that while many people have problems with all the techie stuff that Tony gave Spider-Man, I personally don't. One thing I am worried about though is that how easily this suit can become like a Deus Ex Machina for Spider-Man. And that's gonna break some of the suspension of belief and very tension that this movie can bring at times, which was really nice when they took the suit away and Spider-Man had to rely on his ingenuity and just street smarts. And I have to give another props is that this movie felt authentic and this Spider-Man felt real and he actually emotionally invest himself in the Spider-Man. But this brings me to the bad parts, and that this movie kind of just lacks the heart of Spider-Man. While I can see the Spider-Man being real and authentic, I just feel like he lacks the heart that I'm accustomed to in a Spider-Man movie or just Spider-Man in general. I kind of felt like they lacked any real weight because they kept avoiding mentioning Uncle Ben in this entirety of the movie. And it's just a shame. For example, Spider-Man's motivation in this entire movie was to be an Avenger. He wanted to prove himself to Tony. But once Tony gives him a lecture and he's kind of just thrown out there with his old raggedy clothes, we could have used the whole wake-up call with Uncle Ben to really remind Peter as to why he became Spider-Man. But we never get it because this movie doesn't want to mention Uncle Ben. And I get it. Most people don't want to see Uncle Ben die again. And that's fine. But just because we're not going to see Uncle Ben die doesn't mean he can't be a presence in the movie. And that's why I think the original trilogy kind of just triumphed over this movie. And it's that this movie felt like you could feel the heart in every single scene of the movie. And in this one, it just kind of lacked it. So while I won't say that this movie was terrible, because the characters in this movie were still good, even though I don't really see how integral they were to the actual plot, I'm still kind of reserving some emotions for that in the sequel, because in this movie they were just kind of just aimless faces in the crowd just to help set up the environment for Peter. And another thing I have to say before we go on is that the villain in this movie he's pretty damn good. And the foreshadowing that they gave this villain was epic. I don't know if a lot of people caught that, but I did, and I really appreciated it. But I'm not going to say he was the best villain in the MCU. I'm not even going to say he's one of the greatest villain in the MCU. I'm going to say he was a really damn good villain. And it's just a shame that they didn't do anything with him, because this could have been a very weighty topic for Spider-Man to debate with the Vulture, and they don't do it because they want to be different. They want to be new. They don't want to have the old Spider-Man ways. But I felt like you could just still have some of the old ways and do something new with it, but they didn't, and that's the biggest shame I have with this film, which leads me to giving it a 7 out of 10. This movie did a lot of good things. This movie was overall very enjoyable, but it lacked the heart I needed it to have for me to give it a higher rating. But then again, I'm just a guy sitting by the lagoon enjoying the view. Catch you later, guys.